Oh, look at the headlight. Look at the reflection and the splatters. I'm so happy with how those came out. I got a whale wiener. I don't know how I always tend to pick the days that the groundskeepers are doing construction or like leaf blowing or whatever when I make a video. Like just every single time I try to do something, they're always out there being loud. That's a big pile of dirt they're using to fill in our pool with, and as you can hear, there's a lot of noise, so my bad. My car is having a very rough idle, and I'm not really sure why that is. I've talked to a few people that I know at the shops. As far as we all can think, it's probably a vacuum leak. It's been maybe, yeah, it's been about 20,000 miles ago that I got my walnut blasting, and I got the walnut blasting because it needed to be done. I also noticed that the car was being a little bit sluggish, so I was like, oh, let's do the walnut blasting. Then I did the spark plugs, and it got even more sluggish. So it's actually been gradually getting more and more sluggish, and the idle's been getting worse and worse over the last 20,000 miles. So, you know, that's when I started asking around. I was like, what could be, why is it doing this? And I mean, the only thing that I can come up with, or that anybody can come up with, is either a vacuum leak or a boost leak, which makes the most sense. When you think about like the way that an engine moves and torques, like it kind of like back and forth and up and down and all that kind of stuff, you know, with whatever, its engine mounts aren't solid. Your headers are metal, the connection to the turbo is metal, the intake I have is metal, and the inlet tube is plastic. The plastic turbo inlets on the FA20 have been known to crack over time with wear. Also, the stock bypass valve has been known to go out over time. So I got a whale wiener. This is the PLM silicone turbo inlet. From everything that I can see, the only difference between this one and the Perrin one is the Perrin logo right there. So that's what we're going to be working with today. Also, it's a known issue that the stock bypass valve goes out over time, so I got the boomba because it sounds cool. And if it starts to create problems, we'll get a different one, because why not?
Everything you said they already knew, more or less.
Well, here's something that you didn't know. 2 of those special atomic bombs haven't gone off.
So, as you can see, we got our under tray and we've got our skid plate taken off. Here is our stock turbo inlet right y'all. So as you can see, the MA Performance one comes like all the way down here. And now that I'm back down here on the ground, I left all of my crap upstairs.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine.
No, it's in my car. Cobb boost controller, the little thing that we're gonna have to remove the pin from and put it somewhere else. Intake, oil drain, and then there's our bypass valve. This is gonna require a little bit of cutting. That's a lot longer than it needs to be. So like, it looks like we're gonna cut it to like right about here. I think, I'll figure that out later. All right, so this is gonna be a little bit different from the normal one because we've already got a Cobb boost controller, so the lines are gonna be in a little bit different spots. So I think my plan of action here is to just disconnect everything from the inlet, stock one, take it upstairs, swap everything over, and put everything back in. And I've got a few towels to put in the turbo, to put in the intake, so nothing gets in there on this stupid windy day. Yes, wind. All the wind. Give me the wind. So this stupid thing, you just push up on this little pin right here and it'll pop off. Super easy. Pop that hose off. There's a hose clamp right here that connects it to our charge pipe. Oh, I'm tightening it, that's stupid. How do I always do that? How do I always tighten shit that doesn't need to be tightened? All right, that's nice and loose. Don't you get wrong. If nothing else, if y'all can't see where the screws are when I'm taking off, at least you can watch me struggle, because that's always fun, right? You know that song Wide Open Spaces? This is the opposite. How'd you learn to do that thing with your hands? This right here. Come on, torque yourself on out of there. Haha! Gotcha. Loosen this one up a little bit. Oh, that's tightening again. Alright, should be loose enough. You know what, we're gonna take this whole thing off, because we will not need it anymore. I don't know where all my tools are. I think I'm laying on them. Okay, got it. Okay, so we need to disconnect our wiring. See this right here? That's where our boost controller plugs in. Electrical plugs, connectors, whatever you want to call them, have been the bane of my existence. Like, it's seriously the hardest mechanical part of working on cars to me. Come on, plane. Oh God, that's about to fall on my face. Well, that worked like a charm. Oh my God, I hate you. I hate you so much. Where's my screwdriver? Screwdriver! I need you! Where are you? Where did you leave me? Seriously? There we go, got it. What were we doing? Oh yeah, right here. Probably not a good, ow! I found another tool. So we've got an inlet tube. Got a little nut tube. That's what it's called. Our boost control solenoid goes here. Our circulation valve, aka our bypass valve, goes here. Our crankcase vent tube goes here, and our evap tube goes here. Our stock one, this is where our boost controller would screw in. This is normally oriented like that. There we go. So there's our evap, and there's a crankcase. That's what it's called, a crankcase vent tube. We're gonna take our gasket here and pull that out a little bit. It looks to be the same on both sides. And we're gonna put our little gasket in there. All right, that's in there. We want this to be towards the front in case we ever have to mess with this some more. All right, so now I've made a mess, as according to plan. We've got bypass valve on, hose clamp. Okay, hose clamp, hose clamp. This one's already tight. So now we're going to measure, so right about here is where it thinks I need to cut. Leave a little extra on there, maybe give ourselves some wiggle room in case, you know, stuff goes wrong. But I've got a pair of garden shears. It's just like industrial scissors basically, because I feel like that'll be better. All right, we're gonna start it right here. This is the kind of stuff I don't like, because like once you cut through this silicone tube, like you can't go back. Like that's all you get. You get one tube, and if you screw it up, like you screw it up. This box cutter is actually not bad. Shears are way better. Oh, it's like, yeah, that was such a better idea. Yep, we found the metal strip. If you plan to do this on your parents' table, make sure you put something down, because I am scratching the crap out of my table, but I'm an adult and I bought this table so I can scratch it if I want to. There's that little metal wire. Let's go grab our wire cutters and chop that off. What? Oh, geez, wow. I had to bust out the spring-loaded ones. You need some heavy-duty wire snipper snappers. Got a little bit extra, so we got some wiggle room, so let's try to get it back on there. Nope, that does not look like it'll work. So we're gonna have to cut it off. Cut this little bend out. There we go. All right, bypass valve is in. And now it does not want to line up. Okay, so looks like we do have to cut a 1/2 inch off of this up here. It looked fine, it's not fine. All right, we're back. We're not gonna talk about how ugly my cuts are, but I'm gonna show you so that if this works the way I want it to, then you know that it's okay to be ugly. Just remember that, people. It's okay to be ugly. I don't know what the torque spec on this is supposed to be, but I'm gonna make it tight. Bypass valve, vacuum, goes to vacuum, okay? And then this little white doohickey is gonna come out, and then we'll talk about the pin. This hose is gonna go into our PCB. Got our boost controller plugged in. Just need to tighten that up, tighten everything else up, plug our boost controller back in. Over here where it's not focused. As you'll see in every single video, this is what the little adapter thing was on the crankcase ventilation hose. There's a little plug in there that looks like a fuse without the plastic part on it. We've taken that off and we put it into here. That was plugged in there. Fits just fine. We're gonna wrap that up with electrical tape so we don't short anything out. Ow. Our vacuum line here, we got plugged in, but it was a little too long and it was like kinked all like that. Took it off the top here because we couldn't take it off the bottom. And we're gonna trim off probably about 1 inch of that. If I can get anything in there to trim that. Got our boost controller in. Tighten up our clamp here. We've got our doodle right here taped up. We've got our boomba in there. See that? We've got our vacuum line snugged up for that. We got our vacuum line snugged up for that. We got our crankcase hose in there. We've got that tightened up. We got that tightened up. So, the only thing we have to do is start it up and see if we can hear any leaks. Well, now we got that installed. So either we didn't fix our problem or we made more vacuum leaks. So that's it for this video. So as I'm sure you can tell, I was a little bit frustrated there. But the good news is, like, I figured it out. It wasn't a vacuum leak. It obviously wasn't the turbo inlet because it was still having the same problem. I was looking through the forums. I found the monitors to look for it. I found out what it was. I tried it. So if you're having this same problem and you think it's the turbo inlet, I would advise you to check these out, and I'm gonna show you in the next video. It's like a 5-minute install. It's a fairly cheap part. It's right on top of the engine. Just subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, turn on the notification bell, because obviously I don't make videos very consistently. I'm working on that. I'm trying to get better. I'm gonna do it right. The moment is now. The 20s are going to be a good decade. Stay tuned for the next video. To be continued. It's gonna be good.